Okay. So we'll get started first in a comfortable seat. You can use one of your blocks if you'd like. And you may sit in Sukhasana, which is easy pose, kind of layering one leg in front of the other. Or if it's more comfortable on the block to come around, this might be a little bit more accessible for the knees. You can take your shins and the tops of your feet down. So let your hands rest in your lap, eyes close or soften. Maybe the gaze is just at the tip of your nose instead of completely closing your eyes. Just notice what feels good in this moment. You're at the tail end of your day. So allow the momentum of your day to start to slow down as you tune into your breath. Begin to notice your natural inhale and exhale. When you're ready, on your next inhale, inhale a full deep breath. So really honoring the capacity of your belly, your ribs, your chest, really inhaling to your fullest. And exhale, really let it wash out. Maybe you even sigh it out, part the lips, let it come through your mouth. Then return back to your natural breath after that full deep round. And just notice if there are any shifts. Maybe you've kind of come into your breath a little bit more deep now. Perhaps you feel a sensation of calmness across your mind. Your thoughts might slow down. Start to notice the subtle shifts. And as the momentum of your day starts to come to stillness, you really allow all layers of yourself. There are technically 5 bodies, all layers of yourself to also meet here in this moment, right here on your mat. Of course, you have your physical body, your Annamaya Kosha, and then you have your mental, your thought body, your mind, your Manomaya Kosha. And beyond that would be your breath body, your Pranamaya Kosha. And just beyond the breath body, the 4th body technically is the witness perspective or the witness body, the observer. And the 5th layer, the 5th body, is technically the bliss body or the Anandamaya Kosha. And this is really something that's accessed when the 4th layer of your body witnesses the syncopation of the first 3 layers. So you witness your physical body coming to physical stillness. You witness your mind, your thoughts come to stillness or slow down, because there's no way to really stop the thoughts. It's more about how you react to them. And just beyond that is your breath body. So as your breath comes into stillness, and these are the 3 points you hear a lot in the beginning of the yoga class. So it's when you can sit in the awareness of those 3 layers syncing up. And that's when you start to sort of flicker. I like to imagine it as a flicker in and out of the 4th and 5th body, the witness perspective and the bliss body. That bliss body can also be known in yoga as transcendence or enlightenment, samadhi. There's several different words and meanings for it. But as you sit in these first 3 layers, physical layer, thought body, your breath body, begin to notice how you feel. So they all come to meet in this moment. The weight of your physical foundation, tailbone, hips, legs, sink deeply into the mat, feeling that sensation of grounding or rootedness. Feel a rise in the spine. Shoulders draw down your back, crown of the head reaches tall. With all that space in your body, you've created space for your breath. You deepen your breath once again. Nice, full, refreshing, deep breath in. And release as you exhale. As you sit in your breath and in your body, begin to notice your mind, your thoughts begin to slow down. A little bit of space in between each thought. The practice isn't to stop the thoughts because then you're putting too much attention on them. The practice more so is to witness the thoughts, observe them without reaction or attachment to them. Your breath is always the anchor, bringing the mind's eye to your breath helps to slow the thoughts, calm your body. It's at this place, this connection of these first 3 layers that you set an intention for your practice. It could be something simple, an image, a word, a color, or maybe something a little bit more in depth, like a small phrase for yourself or for a loved one, somebody in need or in struggle, or even perhaps someone or something that you could be struggling with. And as you come to repeat your intention 3 times in your mind's eye, visualize it. On your next inhale, arms come up. Imagine you're gathering up your intention, bringing it up over your head. Maybe your head gently tilts back as you open your eyes, seal your palms. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, chin to your chest. Almost like you're drawing your intention down to your heart. We'll take 2 more like that. Inhale, arms come up, gaze comes up. Seal your palms, exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take 1 more. This time on this last one, let your arms come up, gaze comes up. Let the heels of your hands meet, thumbs and pinky fingers come together, and the middle 3 fingers fan out like a flower. So you bring, this is Lotus Mudra, down to your heart center. Imagine, gaze down, imagine your intention right there at the palm of your hands. Take a full deep breath in, close your palms and exhale, seal your intention. Pick your head up. Take your right hand down and your left arm goes up and over. Nice deep bend in the elbows. Inhale, come up through center. And over to the other side. Left hand down, right arm comes up and over. We have somebody plowing our driveway right now, so it's driving my dogs bonkers. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to the left. Use your inhale, bring yourself back up through center. Come to the right and stay there on your exhale. Your next inhale, you'll bend, you'll soften the left elbow and kind of lift your heart to the sky, let your elbow fall back. Exhale, round this left elbow forward and down. You'll get a little rounding through the upper trap. 2 more like that. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. 1 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Good. Find your side bend to the right. Then use your left side obliques to pull yourself up. Left hand down. Right arm comes over. Really open through the right side. And then when you're ready, right elbow falls back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, close. So you are twisting in a side bend. So gently tone your core as you take this expression. Open, kind of going from one extreme to another. So exhale, let the core support your low back. Good, take 1 more like that. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Now find your side bend to the left and use your right side obliques to pull yourself up. Good, we're gonna come to table pose. If you have a block under you, you can take it out. If you need some extra padding for your knees, you can always take a blanket down. And take your hands, your wrists right under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Allow the tops of your feet to come onto the mat. From here, we'll move into cat and cow. So gently, again, keep that gentle engagement of the core. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, lift your tailbone. Exhale, press the floor away. Feel that rounding in the back of the heart as you tuck your tail and draw your crown down. Inhale, always moving from the core. Gently tone the core as you extend. That way you don't oversway your low back. Exhale, press and round. Couple more like that on your own. Inhale and exhale. Good. And if you like, you can start to maybe even step the hands forward an inch. Start to shift your shoulders forward as you inhale. Let your hips drop down. And you're gently toning the core so you can support the hips there. And exhale, maybe you press and start to round the hips back towards your heels. Again, one extreme to another. So let the core move you. Maybe while you're in your back bend, you take a gaze over each shoulder, kind of feeling into the spine a bit. Start nice and slow. You can even come right into some hip circles. Circling to the left and then around to the right. Maybe a few in one direction. And then take the opposite direction. Move with your breath. Make sure to honor both directions, both sides as you flow. We'll take maybe 3 to 5 more breaths here. So free flow on your own. You might even close or soften your eyes and kind of just let the breath move you. Try not to think too much about where you want to go. Just go. When you're ready, after you've honored both directions, both sides, take the knees wide, about as wide as your mat. Kick the big toes together. Shift your hips back towards your heels. And let your forehead land for child's pose. Maybe the arms are overhead, getting a nice stretch into the shoulders. Maybe you take your hands back towards your feet and kind of let the shoulders melt down. Your forehead can rock side to side here and sort of sink into your hips. Eventually landing right in the middle, third eye connected to the mat. And breathe. Child's pose is always a great posture to come to if you're feeling a little tired, or you'd like to come back to your breath or your intention. Always remember that this posture is here for you if you need it. On your next inhale, take your hands back overhead if they aren't there already. Come up to table, draw your knees in just under your hips. We'll take puppy pose, a nice back bend to start. So walk your hands forward. I like to take my hands a little wider towards the edge of the mat. So feel free to kick them a little wider towards a tripod. Hips stay over your knees and start to melt your heart down towards the mat. Forehead again lands sort of like a child's pose, but you keep your hips over your knees. Get a nice deep back bend. As you open your heart, feel your shoulders, your armpits kind of reach down to the mat as you open your shoulders. And if you have enough space, you might pick your forehead up and take your chin down. Good. To come out, tone the core, press through your hands, start to lift your heart up and slide your hands back under. From here, we'll take a twist. I'll turn to face you. You'll take your left arm up and open to the side as you inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath. Come down onto your left shoulder and left cheek. Hips stay over the heels. Maybe your right arm comes around to meet your low back. We are going to take some balance later on in class. So if you'd like to start here, you could tuck your, you'll tuck your right toes, press through the ball of your foot and start to wiggle your right foot back as you lift your knee. Maybe activate the core a little more and start to float your right toes off of the mat. Keep drawing the right hip down as you float your right toes up. That will secure your balance. Core is strong. Take a breath. And exhale, bring your toes back down and your knee down. Take your right hand onto the mat, press into the mat, and left arm comes up and open. Big circle through that left shoulder. One direction and the other. Good. Left hand comes down. We'll take the other side. Right arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Thread. Come down onto the right shoulder, right cheek. Left hand could slide forward if you'd like. You could take some length there, or take your left hand around to meet your low back. Settle in. If you want balance, tone your core, tuck your left toes. Start to pick your left knee off of the mat. Stay firm. I find it's helpful to stay firm through the top of the right foot. And if you want to take flight, draw your left hip down, tone your core, and float your left toes up. Inhale. Exhale, left side comes down, including your hand. Press into the mat, right arm comes up. Big circle, both directions. Good. A couple more rounds of cat-cow. So take that right hand down. Inhale, the heart threads up and through the shoulders. Exhale, press and round. Maybe one more. Next time you inhale, tuck your toes, lift your heart. Exhale, imagine you have a thread at your tailbone and someone is reaching it up towards the ceiling. Press your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Keep the knees nice and bent for your first one and focus on the length of your spine. So you can sort of lift the tailbone as you deeply bend the knees and find that length in the low back. Gently let your heart melt through the shoulders. Check in with your hands. Do you feel that you're loading your wrists, or can you shift some of the weight to the top part of your palm? Firm into the fingertips. Use the muscles of the fingers. All these tiny little shifts and minor adjustments of alignment help to take the pressure off the wrists. When you're ready, pedal out your feet. If downward facing dog is something you practice often and you want to come right into dropping the heels down, you might take a few breaths in stillness. Always keep a nice micro bend in the knees. Never lock or hyperextend. Just a gentle, neutral knee. Take a full deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. One more inhale. Knees come back down to the mat, table pose. From here, take your left leg back. Keep your toes connected to the mat. You might take a forward, pulsing forward and back. And just pressing out through that left leg. When you're ready, float your left leg up to hip height. Both hands stay on the mat. You could stay right here. If you want to go a little further, maybe you start to get light in the right fingertips. You could take your right hand and tent it at the top of your mat, or bring it up to shoulder height. Gaze stays down. Same alignment cues here. for this left wrist. If you feel like you're loading your left wrist, can you shift some of the weight to the top of the palm, so the base of the knuckles? Grip the mat with your fingertips, really use your thumb and your pinky. Good. Take your right hand down. Keep your left leg extended, but let your toes land on the mat. Kickstand your right foot out to the side a little. Lean into your right hand. Left arm comes up. Left heel kind of falls in. So the foot's nice and flat. Then take your left arm up and overhead. So bicep by the ear, you kind of create a big rainbow shape. Inhale, exhale. Use your side obliques, lift your left leg, keep your foot flexed and reach down towards your toes. So you're really activating the side obliques. Inhale, open up, find that big rainbow shape. Exhale, tone the core and lift. Good, one more, open. Exhale, lift, hold. Press through the left heel. Now bend your left knee and with your hand, reach back, find your foot or the top of your ankle. Press your foot or your ankle into your hand for modified balancing half moon. Keep your core strong. Re-extend your left leg and then take your left side down to table when you're ready. Other side, right leg extends back. Keep your toes connected to the mat and push forward and back for a moment. Good, when you're ready, float your right leg up. Reach through your heel. Stabilize this right hand. If you need to adjust it so it's under the shoulder, go ahead and take that adjustment. When you're ready, get light on the left fingertips. Maybe your hand creeps forward or comes up to shoulder height. Gaze stays down. Think of a line of energy from your heel to your hand. Good, when you're ready, left hand comes down. Take your right toes to the mat just for a moment so you can kickstand this left foot out to the side. When you're ready, right heel falls in, right arm comes up. Bicep by the ear, big rainbow shape. Inhale. Use your side obliques as you exhale, lift the right leg. Fingertips reach down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lift and engage. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift and engage. Hold here. Bend your knee. When you're ready, reach back with your right hand. Find the top of your foot or your ankle. Press your foot into your hand for your back bend. Lots of balance. Keep the core strong. Firm into the top of the left foot. And when you're ready, extend your right leg. And the whole right side comes down, table pose. Take a round of cat, cow if you'd like. When you're ready, tuck your toes, make your way to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Once again, second down dog practice. You might already feel some shifts, some length. Gaze comes up on your inhale. Heels reach up high. Exhale, take as many steps as you need to the top of your mat. Nice soft bend in the knees, micro bend in the knees. Hinge at your hips and release your head forward. Hands can stay on the mat if you'd like, or take opposite elbows. Ragdoll. Little sway side to side might feel nice. Come back to your breath. Whenever you come back to your breath, there's always an opportunity to come back to your intention. It's that single pointed focus on your attention. Release your hands when you're ready. Inhale, halfway lift. So to work the heart slowly over the hips, exhale, fold. Deep bend in the knees, spine is long. Inhale, arms reach up. Come all the way up as you stand. Exhale, hands land at your heart center. Let your palms come down by your sides. Palms face forward. Feel that openness through the shoulders. Take a breath. On your next inhale, let your arms sweep up. Exhale, nice soft bend in the knees, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your left foot back. Left knee comes down, and take your blocks to frame your right foot. I always like the highest setting in the blocks because the higher you lift your heart, the more you can drop into the left hip flexor. So with your hands on your blocks, lift your heart, kind of feel that sensation of threading the heart through the shoulder, sort of like you would in cow shape. A little sway side to side can feel kind of nice on that left hip flexor. Find center. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, firm into the right foot to shift your hips back. Right toes lift as you lengthen your right leg and bow forward. Inhale, rebend the right knee, come forward. Exhale, extend and bow over that right leg. One more. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Stay here in half split, Ardha Hanuman. Maybe your hands come off the blocks or you lower the block a level. Shift them back so they're under your shoulders. Flex your right toes. Right toes might come off to one side and then the other, kind of feeling around the hamstring on the right side. And when you're ready, rebend your right knee, come forward. Hands will frame your right foot, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Press into the hands, pick up your right foot and step it back, plank pose. Shoulders stay over your wrists. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Protraction through the shoulder blades. So you're not squeezing the shoulder blades together, you're pressing the floor away. And feel that space between the shoulder blades. From here, drop your knees to the mat. Shift your shoulders forward and move into Cobra Pose. So hips kind of come down towards your wrists. Keep your core strong to protect your low back. Heart threads through the shoulders as you inhale. Don't look up to cinch the back of the neck. Just look straight ahead. Now use your core, use your knees. Press up through table, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Good. When you're ready, right leg lifts up. Inhale. Bend your knees, stack your hip. For this first one, you could gaze under your right shoulder or right armpit and kind of twist through the shoulders, open the right hip a little more, and then close the shoulders, close the right hip, and extend your right leg. Inhale here, and exhale, take your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Bend your knees, stack your hips, gaze under the left arm. Kind of find that nice side body stretch. And then when you're ready, close the shoulders, close the hips, move forward to plank, take your left knee in towards your nose, hold, and step through. Right knee comes down. Blocks here to frame your left foot, heart comes up nice and high. Drop the hips down. Maybe a little sway side to side. And then we'll take that vinyasa, the breath with movement. Inhale, heart comes up. Exhale, shift your hips back. Left toes rise as you fold over your left extended leg. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, shift back and stay. Take your blocks down or off to the side. Hands under your shoulders. Flex your left foot. Kind of draw the left hip back as you draw the right hip forward, like you're squaring your hips. Then when you're ready, fold over your front leg. Micro bend in the knee. It's never locked or hyperextended. And if it feels okay, take your left toes off to each side. Feeling around all three rivers of your left hamstring. Keep your breath even. When you're ready, rebend your left knee, hands crawl forward. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Inhale, exhale, press off the right foot, step forward, Uttanasana at the top of your mat. Hinge at your hips and bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Soft bend in the knees, spine stays straight, root to rise all the way up. Arms come up overhead. Let your left hand grab your right wrist, side bend to your left. Good, come up through center, switch your grip, side bend to your right. Inhale, arms up through center. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. Soften the bend in the knees as you come down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time, right leg steps back. Find warrior one. So you'll take the back right heel down, deep bend into the left knee. Once your foundation is rooted, then rise up. Arms come up overhead. Deep bend in this left knee while you kind of rotate the right hip towards the front edge of the mat. The back foot's at a 45 degree. So the right toes are kind of oriented towards the top right corner of the mat. And when you're ready, arms up. Try not to take this into a back bend. Draw the low rib cage down. Deep bend into your knee, and we'll strengthen here. Lift and lengthen the left leg. As you exhale, track your knee back over the second toe, the toe right next to the big toe. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rebend. Make sure it's in alignment. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Hands to your heart. Pick up your back right heel and rotate your right hip forward. So this is Crescent Lunge. You've got that right heel lifted. Lean forward over your left leg. When you're ready, kick off the right leg, warrior 3. Reach out through the heel of the right foot and feel your heart kind of still reach through the collarbones. Hands can stay at heart or maybe come out to the side here. If you want a little bit more, I'm a little limited with space, but you could take your arms overhead. Good. From here, hands down, standing split. Take your right leg up, super high. Inhale. Exhale, take your right foot slowly down to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lean into the right foot, step your left leg back. Find warrior 1 foundation. So take the heel down, 45 degrees of that back left foot. Deep bend into the right knee, come up when you're ready. Knee tracks over the ankle, kind of press it right into in alignment with that second toe. Wrap the left hip forward. And then we'll take our 5 lunges. Inhale, lengthen right leg. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Last one. Good. Stay here, hold, hands to heart. Pick up that back left heel, crescent warrior one. Once you're ready, lean forward, firm through this right foot, kick off the left, warrior three. Heart comes forward, heel reaches back. Maybe your hands stay at heart, maybe they come to airplane. Maybe they come all the way up overhead. Don't have space, so I'll stay in airplane. And when you're ready, standing split, hands come down, fold forward, left leg kicks up a little bit higher. Hips stay closed for this standing split. Inhale, exhale. Left foot comes down to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise up. This time, right wrist grabs a hold of left wrist, or right hand grabs hold of left wrist, side bend. Up through center, switch your grip, other side. Inhale, come back up through center, forward fold, swan dive, lead with the heart, hinge with the hips, soften the knees, and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Keep your hands on the ground, shift the weight to the right foot, take your left leg up, standing split. So this time, you're gonna take the variation with the hips open. So sort of like you were stacking the left hip over the right, maybe even tenting onto these left fingertips, start to open up and take that left leg a little higher. You might even take balance here by bringing your right hand to the back of your right ankle. Good. From here, take the right hand back onto the mat, close the left hip, step it all the way back, the left foot back at the back edge of the mat. Take warrior two. So the left heel circles in and down. Nice 90-degree here. Set up your front right knee and cartwheel your arms up when you're ready. Deep bend into the right knee. Knee tracks right over the middle toe. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. Left hand kind of slides down the back leg, gaze comes up. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward, take your right forearm to your right leg. Left arm reaches up. Hold here nice and strong in your breath. Deep bend into that right knee. Feel your adductors, your inner legs drawing towards each other. Firm through this left foot, pinky toe side of the left foot draws down. Press into your right leg, reverse, and straighten your right leg. Inhale, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. If you want to block, take a block to the inside of the left foot. Reach your right hand forward. Sorry, inside of the right foot. And take your right hand to the block, the mat, or the shin. Nice and light. And left arm comes up. Full deep breath. Keep your hips in warrior two. So the top hip is gently drawing forward, not too much. There's a tiny tuck of the tail here, but not over exaggerated at all. A little twist through the spine as you stack your shoulders. Now you can stay here, or if you want to take your balance, soft bend into this right knee, start to heel toe the left foot up. Right hand can land on a block or on your mat. Press down into the right foot. Use your core, especially your left side obliques, and lengthen, just like we did with the knee down. Lengthen and lift the left leg. Left hand can come back up to the sky. Keep the core strong. Keep reaching through the left heel. Try not to have this is what a lazy leg looks like. You're kind of just using the hips to hold it there. Really press through the foot. Use the side obliques, the IT band, and lift. If you want a little more, bend your left knee. Reach back with your ankle or the top of your foot. Press your foot into your hand for a back bend. Right hand stabilizes on the block or on the mat. Now tone your core, soft bend into the right knee, re-extend your left leg and take your left leg to the back edge of the mat. Warrior two, use the core the whole way to bring you back up. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. And lift the back left heel. Firm through the hands. Really press down. And when you're ready, pick up your right foot, step it back, plank. Hold, nice and strong. Knees lower. Shift your shoulders forward. Use your core to control your hips as you drop down, Cobra Pose. Heart lifts up and through. Try not to cinch the back of the neck. Keep it long, look ahead. Tone your core, use your knees, press up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Notice how different your downward facing dog feels. Right leg comes up, inhale, bend your knees, stack your hip. Keep the shoulders square now, so the rotation comes through the torso. You probably can't stack open as much as you did before. And when you're ready, close your hip and take your right foot down next to your left. Left foot lifts, inhale. Bend your knees, stack your hip open. Keep the shoulders square, twist through the torso. When you're ready, close your hips. Left knee comes towards your nose as you move forward to plank. Then when you're ready, step through. Find warrior two. So you'll cartwheel that back right heel down. Find healthy alignment in this front left knee and cartwheel your arms up when you're ready. Remember, healthy alignment's when the knee tracks right in line with the second toe, right next to the big toe. Now flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. Keep that deep bend. Don't let the knee go to either side. Keep it right in the middle. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm meets left thigh, right arm overhead. Keep the core strong. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, reverse. Straighten out this front knee. Exhale, extended side angle, Utthita Trikonasana. Pause here, find extension, really hinge at the hip, reach forward a little more if you can, and then let your hand come down to your shin, your mat, your block, right arm up. Wherever your hand lands, try not to lean into it, lift up, let it be nice and light. Now, if you want to go into Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon balance, start to soften the bend in the left knee. Take your block or your hand down in front of your left foot and start to heel toe the right foot up and in. When you're ready, when you can feel that you can draw down through that left foot, use your side obliques on the right side to lift your right leg up. Good. Press through your heel. We'll shift back a bit. Maybe you bend your right knee, reach back, find your ankle or your foot. Press your foot into your hand. Feel that arch, that back bend. Good, inhale. Exhale, keep the core strong. Re-extend the leg, deep bend into the left knee. Guide your right foot down. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale here. Next inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Good. From here, pick the back right heel up. Inhale, exhale, step forward, forward fold. Hinge at your hips. A little sway side to side if that feels good. Now your feet are about hips distance apart. Turn your toes out, let your heels stay where they are. Bend your knees if it feels okay in the hips and in the knees. Come down to Malasana, Yogi Squat. If you need to adjust your feet at all, they might need to go a little wider. They might need to come a little closer together. That all depends on how your hips feel. You could even take some blocks and sit them underneath your seat for a little support. Wherever you land, have your hands come to heart. Maybe you use 2 blocks and eventually kick it down to 1. And then eventually, after months of practice, kick it out to no blocks. And then hands can come off the mat. Let's take one more breath here. And when you're ready, hands come down, lift your hips and heel toe your feet back in, forward fold. Hands on the mat, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Take your left leg up, inhale, exhale, pigeon pose. Left knee comes in between the hands. Kind of snuggle the left knee up towards the left wrist. Keep the right toes tucked and wiggle the right leg all the way back. Keep your hands down on the mat so you can take a moment to square the hips. Left hip back, right hip forward. Once your hips feel square, untuck your toes. Inhale here in your back bend. Lead with your heart on your exhale, come forward. You could start with your forearms. Forearms can even come onto blocks. Eventually, as you create space, kick your elbows out and take your forehead to your hands. Full deep breath. One more breath here. Now on your next inhale, come on up. Tuck your right toes. Firm the hands into the mat. Press into your hands in the ball of the right foot. Maybe this left leg comes up. Bend your knees. Stack your hip open. Then when you're ready, close your hip and find downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. And we'll take the other side. Right leg comes up. Inhale, exhale. Right knee comes towards your right wrist. Keep your left toes tucked and start to wiggle your left leg all the way back. Untuck your toes. Take a moment, press into your hands to square your hips. Left hip forward, right hip back. Inhale here in your back bend. Exhale, start to come down. Full deep breath. You can kick your elbows out. Take your forehead to your hands if you like. And breathe. Come back to your intention. Anytime you take pause in a posture, it's an opportunity to come back to your breath and your intention. Check in with yourself. Notice the shifts that have changed from the beginning of practice to now. Notice how you feel. Notice how your breath moves through your body. Notice how your heart rate is. Yoga is just the practice of constantly Coming back to that awareness of the moment, whatever you're experiencing, just taking a moment to experience it. When you're ready, press back up onto your hands. Tuck your left toes. Keep your hands where they need to be for your down dog. Lift your left knee and send your right leg back. Three-legged dog, if that feels good. It might feel good to open the hip and return your right foot down next to your left. Pedal out your feet for a moment. When you're ready, knees come down to the mat. Swing your feet around and come onto your seat. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold before we come all the way down. So you'll take your legs out in front of you, flex your feet, and if you have tight hamstrings, you can always soften the bend in your knees and sort of drive down through the heels, and that will help open up the low back, and it will also help take the pressure off the hamstrings. So even if you have, super long hamstrings and you feel like you almost have a tendency to lock the knees or hyperextend, putting a soft bend in the knees and sort of driving down through the heels will help avoid that. So you can take your hands. I always like to start at the back of the knees. You can also start at the shins and sort of find a cow shape, sort of lift your heart, feel your heart thread through the shoulders, feel this length in the low back, again, a softness in the knees. And as you're exhaling, start to hinge at your hips. Keep the low back flat, kind of keep pulling. Hands will start to come down towards the ankles. Maybe you pause, next inhale, relifts the heart. It's all very subtle shifts. Exhale, start to pull forward a little more. And once you're in the depth of your forward fold, if your knees are significantly bent, you could start to straighten them out. And then there you are. Take your head down towards your knees. The object of this pose is not to touch your knees with your nose. It's more of to find lengthening in the low back as you hinge at the hips. You can reach your feet. It can feel nice to take the heels of your hands to your toes and gently pull the toes back to stretch the bottoms of your feet. And if you do that, then you'll want to take the opposite. Take the heels of your hands to the tops of your toes and push your toes down and around. You might get a couple cracks. And then let your toes come to neutral. Grab a hold of your shins or your knees and gently lead with the heart as you come up. Hands come down by your side. Slide your seat down your mat and roll onto your back. Knees come into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here, Uttanasana. A little rock side to side if that feels good. And then take your hands on each knee. So left hand on left knee, right hand on right knee, and start to circle your knees in opposite directions. So we'll let them move away from each other nice and wide, and then bring them around, bring them towards each other. So you get a nice massage in the hip sockets. The femur head sits right in the hip socket. And as you circle your knees, you're essentially massaging that hip socket. And reverse direction. Same amount of times in this direction. And let your knees come back to meet at your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Nose comes up towards your knees. Get around through the back body. And then let your head, neck, and shoulders come down. Roll everything to your left, including your right arm. Your right arm's going to come around to help support you as you kick your bottom hip back and align your shoulder. Once you've aligned your shoulder, you can take your right arm back up and around in your supine twist. Arms can come into a T position. Gaze is at the ceiling or over your right shoulder. Full deep breath. Let the core relax as you twist open. When you're ready to safely exit, take your right arm back over to meet your left. So you're back in your fetal position. And then as one unit, roll onto your back. Shift your hips back into the center of your mat, knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then we'll take the other side. Roll everything to your right, including your left arm. Use your left arm to help shift your bottom hip and shoulder into alignment. Once you're ready, your left arm opens up to the side. You might even need to adjust again the right shoulder kind of towards the right edge of the mat. And arms into a T. Gaze is over that left shoulder if that feels okay in your neck. Full deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, left arm comes over and roll onto your back safely. Knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze here. Maybe nose up towards your knees. Grab a hold of your ankles or pinky toe sides of your feet and let your head, neck, and shoulders come down for happy baby. Ananda Balasana. Knees open up wide, wider than the shoulders. Feet stack over the knees. Gently pull the feet down. Keep the tailbone long. Maybe a little shift here, side to side. Kind of feeling through the hips. Can feel nice to extend one leg and then the other leg. Gently rolling around the low back. When you feel ready, let the bottoms of your feet come together. Let them land on your mat, Supta Baddha Konasana. Left hand can come to your heart, right hand to your belly. Begin to circulate the energy of your practice. And breathe. You may choose to stay here for your Shavasana. Or if you'd like something a little more traditional, extend each leg out. Let your hands come down by your sides. Palms face up so you get that external rotation through your shoulders. Come back to your breath, your intention. Slowly let each breath take you away into your Shavasana, into your integration. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Stretch or lengthen in any way that serves you. And when you're ready, gather up your limbs and roll to one side. Pause here for a moment, feeling gratitude towards yourself for showing up and honoring breath and movement for your mind and your body. When you're ready, use your top arm to press you up to a comfortable seat. Eyes stay soft or closed. Hands land at your heart center. Take a full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice.